Dave Simon and his co-hosts are completing the remaining finishing touches for tonight's episode. If you are watching the replay, you can skip to the 4-minute and 54-second mark to get to Dave's intro. While you are waiting, watching live, take a look at the news and articles about pro wrestling and MMA from The Authority, the Ringside Report Network. Our website is at ringsidereport.net. That's ringsidereport.net.
Please wait. Hold on. Keep waiting. Almost done. 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 Subscriber is speaking at the moment. Subscriber is speaking at the moment. Subscriber is speaking at the moment. Please wait. Hold on. Keep waiting. Almost done. 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 Subscriber is speaking at the moment.
Yes, boy!
Subscriber is speaking at the moment. Subscriber is speaking at the moment.
Welcome to today's broadcast from the Ringside Report Network. We are a viewer and listener-supported creative team. We would really appreciate it if you became a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. While you are waiting, watching live, take a look at the news and articles about pro wrestling and MMA, and while there, check out our exclusive merch, including great jiu-jitsu gear from the Ringside Report Network. Our website is at ringsidereport.net. It's ringsidereport.net.
Subscriber is speaking at the moment.
Randy Orton wrestles on Smackdown. CM Punk gonna main event WrestleMania and AEW Dynasty coming up next week. It's Wrestling Uncensored. Let's do it. Yes. Let's do it. What are we waiting for? There's Johnny. What are we waiting for? How are you?
Oh, not too bad yourself, Dave.
Yeah.
I find if you've been watching Raw and SmackDown, because it comes on a little bit earlier for us, and that's another spoiler for everyone who hasn't been paying attention, that we get to watch it earlier. You really have to watch it live, because if you don't watch it live, I realized this by watching Raw, because I didn't watch Raw live, that they edit the hell out of that. Because the audio, the crowd, clearly they were probably swearing at John Cena. I couldn't tell. It's just garble, like the sound effects, pretty much, just crowd general reactions kind of thing.
Yeah?
Yeah. I imagine you saw it live, and maybe it wasn't a big deal for you.
I didn't see it live, but I saw it while it was still going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the live feed was still happening, and it started from the beginning, you know? So I heard the swearing at John Cena. I didn't know that they took that out.
Yeah, they took it out. And that was a big reason, if you caught it SmackDown live as it happened during the Charlotte match, they were fighting to edit up FU Charlotte. That was clearly, you could hear, I don't know if you caught that, but you could tell they were trying to edit that out during the live broadcast. So I imagine if you watch that later, that's not going to exist at all.
Yeah. It's Netflix, though. I see terrible and hear terrible words on Netflix.
Yeah, but you also noticed, too, remember that cage match with Seth and Punk? Was it not Seth that gave the middle finger to Punk? They cut away from that. They didn't show that. And that was on Netflix on Raw. So I think, the thing's going to happen, but they'd rather it not happen.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why. I mean, why do it if you want it taken out? I mean, I guess the fans, but the wrestler, you know?
Well, I think, again, if you look at the actual rating for the show, is it not still PG?
Oh, is it? Okay. So I guess
it
doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know.
I mean, it is targeted for children, right?
Yeah. It just feels wrong when they're trying to censor the crowd.
It's off-putting when you watch it, especially when you watch it after the fact, and it's like, something's happening here. The way Cena's reacting, it's not just noise. Something's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, Cena kind of used it with his promo on Raw.
Right. Well, I got that, but I only got that because he talked about it, right? I had to figure it out myself.
Yeah. Kind of more of the same from John Cena. It's already feeling a little stale.
I just feel I don't know how you feel about this. They didn't really have much to go with on this. And it was just, like you said, more of the same, just pretty much practically repeat the promo, but just play with the crowd a little bit more. And that was it. And the same thing, doesn't say anything to Cody, just walks away. They don't have much for this, in terms of a build. And I think there's one more Raw for Cena, and then he's done for Mania until Mania. So they better have something good for, I think it's for this Monday, or this is not a great build towards their main event.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't a great promo. Cena at one point started talking about the kid from Belgium the week before, right, who they showed. And he's like, you people are terrible. You made memes about this kid. You were all laughing about the kid. And it's like, it was your WWE cameras that cut to this kid as soon as you said stuff about kids. What do you mean? You did that, WWE. Cena's blaming the fans. It's no, you were hey, look at this kid. And the fans were oh yeah. John Cena kid. I don't think anyone was making fun of that kid. I think people were yeah, this is a John Cena fan. I don't know. It's just a fun shot of the kid.
And they jumped on it. A lot of people jumped on it, and WWE jumped on it too. And
yeah,
why not?
But Cena, I don't know. Like, just Cena's whole thing about the crowd and you people are bad and you were mean to me and you're awful people. And then Cody comes out and he's like, the people are good and they love you and they support us and they're the reason we're here and all of this. It's like, I don't know. Cena didn't do anything that interesting. This Cody Cena thing is losing steam every week, and Cena's appearing. He's going to be on Raw Monday night, and then he's not going to be on Raw for the 2 weeks leading up to WrestleMania. At least he's not advertised, and you would think if he was on the show, he would be advertised. So he's on Raw Monday, and then there's 2 weeks of TV, 1 week of TV, and then the other week of TV is leading into Mania, but still there's a Raw on a Monday that Cena's not scheduled to be on. How stale is it going to be by then? Is that not even main eventing WrestleMania at this point? Like, we saw Punk and Seth and Roman say, get told or whatever that they're going to get a main event of Mania. Punk crying. So they're going to main event Mania. Are they main eventing night 2? Because Roman and Cena and Cody will just be on earlier? Because who cares at this point?
I agree with you in that kind of feeling, but I think it's going to be the triple threat night 1 and then Cody and Cena night 2, I would imagine. And I think that's kind of a bummer too, because like that's what, 3rd year in a row now the women do not get to end the show either night.
I don't think that's right.
There's enough in terms of like star power and interest in those matches where I feel like at least one of them should be. Like, how many times, this happened like twice now to Charlotte where she should have been the main event but wasn't the main event. I think it was her against Rhea Ripley, right, last time?
Honestly, I would make Io, Rhea, Bianca a main event over Charlotte and Tiffy.
I mean, I see how you see that like that, but I also see how Tiffany and Charlotte, like, that could be a very good match. And I kind of like the idea of that, how it's like she's the up-and-coming against the legend. Like, I like the dynamic of that match. I think that could be a very good match.
Yeah. But the way you say it, I think, is very correct. Up-and-coming legend. Whereas Bianca, Io, Rhea are superstars, future legends in their prime right now.
Either way, I don't think it's a wrong move to make either one of those matches main event. They're both, I think, going to be very good matches, I think, in the end. I feel it's a little clunkier, though, getting to this 3-way, because as we've seen, we're not quite there yet, because now it's going to be Io against Rhea on Raw this week, right?
For the title. Is Bianca the special referee?
She is.
Ooh. Are they going to do the Undertaker, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels finish?
Well, the wording, I think, is very particular in this matter, because Adam Pearce said the winner of the match is going to go on to face Bianca at WrestleMania. I think there's going to be a double pin. Like, they both pin each other, so they both won. So I think that's what's going to happen. That's how we'll get triple threat, I think.
Well, we'll see what they do. I think we're going to get the triple threat one way or another because, what are they going to do? Like, have Io just wrestle Bianca and it's like, well, Rhea didn't win, so she doesn't wrestle at Mania. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to happen. Well,
especially the way it's going right now. Like, there's really no other spot for her if you think about it, so it doesn't make sense for that to happen. I don't see them not using one of those 3. I don't see it at this point.
At this point, they should have announced the triple threat. And they should have stopped with all these shenanigans. It's like, we all know what we're doing here. Can we just get to it? I don't care how they get to it. It doesn't matter what little path they take because I know the destination.
I agree with you, but they have their own little story that they're going with, and like, in the end, I guess it'll all make sense, so let them have at it. They know what they're doing, right? They're the experts.
It already made sense when Rhea signed the contract. Like, that was enough. It was like, yeah, all right. Like, that's good enough. It's wrestling. You know what I mean? It's fine. It made sense. It made enough sense. She's Rhea. She's Rhea Bloody Ripley. She lost the title. She didn't get a rematch. She wants it at WrestleMania in the triple threat. Boom.
I think it looks bad if you look at it. Like,
what about immediate rematch after losing the belt?
Well, that she's getting the rematch, right? And then they've been kind of flip floppy on that too, where you get it and then you don't get it. So they're not always consistent with it, but she's getting it, so that's happening. And again, like, I felt this was going to be Rhea versus Bianca, and Rhea was going to earn her spot by beating Bianca, very much like how we talked about Shawn, Triple H, and Benoit, how that happened into a triple threat. So I thought that would happen like this, but this still works too, and it's fine. And I think I don't know about you, I'm seeing Rhea walk away at WrestleMania as champion.
I could see Bianca.
See, I kind of like that, but it feels like, just if you judge off the crowd reaction, and maybe it's just because where they're at, it's weird, but I feel like the crowd's not really responding to Bianca. She was standing tall at the end of this week on Raw. I wasn't really into it that much. So I wonder if actually the whole Jade Naomi thing kind of hurt her, actually. Like, she's not as popular.
Maybe, but I think that'll change over time. I think Bianca's still very popular. She's a huge star, and they need star power on Raw. They don't have a lot of opponents for Rhea Ripley. You know, Liv Morgan just went over to SmackDown, right?
Did she?
Didn't she?
Like, I mean, they're the women's tag champions, right?
Right.
So they can be on both shows.
Yeah, I guess that's why she was on SmackDown. But, like, I feel like giving Bianca the belt is going to be a nice way to just get Bianca on Raw post-Mania, which I think needs to happen. Because this is like a Raw feud that she's in, and I think she's technically on SmackDown.
Yeah, she's on SmackDown, but I agree with you. Especially because Charlotte came back.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of need more star power on Raw, and to change up a bit for Rhea, because, like, she's been the same feud for almost a whole year. So you really need to switch things up, and I think Bianca definitely, that's great. And she's pretty much done with everything she's done. Like, she's not really involved with the Jade thing. She can move on. I think it's better what they're doing now, actually. And I could see maybe even they move over someone like Jade afterwards, after the draft, because the draft's still going to happen. So,
yeah. But I think if you had Rhea, Io, Bianca, and then maybe add somebody like Becky Lynch to the mix on Raw, you could do a lot of different matches, a lot of different ways for a number of months to years. Just with those four.
And you still got Bayley. She's around. I know she's more in the mid card right now. So, but she's still there.
Yeah. There's a lot you can do with Bianca, Io, and Rhea. I think they're all extremely talented, like, at everything. You know? Promos are good. The look is good. The wrestling is good. Like, they're all top talents. They're all future Hall of Famers.
No, I agree with you. And, like, if it was a main event WrestleMania, I wouldn't have a problem with it. However, it looks like it's not going to be. It looks like it's going to be guys night 1, night 2.
Maybe. I think you're probably right. Did CM Punk really cry about main eventing night 1 of WrestleMania? Was he really crying about that tonight? What was that?
I mean, if that's the way he felt, or sure, he's emotional about it. Like, it was a big deal for him, right? Like, Paul Heyman was very emotional about it, so.
Right. Roman and Heyman came out for the contract signing at the end of SmackDown tonight. Fans were singing Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. Roman asked them to acknowledge. He says the OTC came here for 2 reasons. 1, to be acknowledged. Got that done. And 2, to sign the contract. Then he signs the contract. Seth Rollins comes out. Fans sing his song for a while because they're in England, so they're extra singing. And Seth talks about Roman and, hey, come on, Roman, don't leave yet. We got a lot of history here. We've done things here together, and we did all this. And Roman's like, what is this us? I took us to this place. I'm the reason why this whole company is here. I'm the biggest star here. I made us desirable for Netflix. What have you done? Who are you? And I'm like, yeah, get him, Roman. And then Seth is like, oh, well, you let the biggest snake in the world, CM Punk, come here, and you should have destroyed that snake at War Games when you teamed up with him, but you didn't, so now I have to clean up your mess again. And it's like, Roman kind of just owned you there, dude, and you just said, like, oh, I'm mad because CM Punk and you are friends. Rough reply from Seth. That was a good response from Roman, and Seth came back with, well, Punk, I hate him so much. You know, it's like, damn. It's good.
Well, it's interesting, too. This segment was very long, by the way. It felt like it was, 30 minutes? Maybe more. Like, I thought they went over because we went to credits and they were still talking.
Yep.
And it didn't end until, like, well after the credits, I thought.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow. I wonder on TV how that comes out, because I feel like I think it was the entrances, because the entrances, like, they went to commercial break on Roman's entrance because it was so long. It made sense to do that, but still. Then you had the other two, like, long.
And the fans are singing and making it longer because they're chanting and singing, and they got to stop talking because the fans are so loud, you know?
I mean, I get it, live in the moment, all that, and they soaked it in, like, beyond belief. But I think Roman even mentioned it too, like, when Punk was signing the contract, like, hey, we got TV time here, let's hurry it up here. Like, I almost felt like he was actually being serious about that, because we were kind of lacking time there a bit, and I'm glad they kind of got to the point. But it also feels like, although people still cheer for Seth, he's the heel in all this, because he was the one freaking out. And everyone was happy about it.
Yeah. What were they cheering? Were they cheering him freaking out? Or, I mean, what were they behind Seth? It was weird because they seem to be behind everybody. There doesn't seem to be a heel in any of this. It's an odd match because the fans seem behind everyone. And even I like a couple of the guys in it. I think they're pretty good. And so CM Punk comes out and he says he's here to chew bubblegum and sign a contract, and he's all out of bubblegum because he is, of course, the modern day Roddy Piper, the famous Piper line. Punk looks through the contract, and he's looking through the contract, and Roman gets agitated, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, why you keep looking through this contract? And Heyman goes, I know what you're looking for, and it's in there. You are main eventing. You are closing the show at WrestleMania. And he's like, hugs Punk, and he kisses Punk, and Punk's got tears in his eyes. And Roman is like laughing because he's going to make money and he's happy about it. But Seth is like super mad. He's like, Punk doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve to be in WrestleMania main event. And he's all mad. And Roman, and then Punk is like, all right, thank you to the fans who stood by me and chanted my name for 10 years, and thank you to all the fans. And Roman goes, wait a second. You shouldn't be thanking them. You should be thanking your tribal chief. I'm the reason you're main eventing WrestleMania. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I don't know who else Punk could be wrestling that would close a show at WrestleMania. Like, he's not getting the Cody match, so if he didn't have Roman here, he's not closing the show. So there's that.
I completely agree with you. But
well, Punk agrees too. He got on one knee and started like kissing ass to Roman. Thank you, my tribal chief, the OTC, the head of the table. He got on one knee and was like, thank you for letting me main event WrestleMania. He did this whole thing. What was that?
Well, that was the whole, like, the Swerve it, right? Because the whole thing is, like, he got that, and you would have thought that was the favor that Heyman owed him, right? But
You would have
apparently he
thought
says
that
that
closing the show, right, that was the favor. And then Punk gets up and he's like, oh, by the way, that's not the favor that I'm owed. And Heyman's like, oh, and Roman's like, oh, no, what does that mean? And Seth is just still pissed. I mean, okay. But I felt like the groveling outweighed the swerve at the end. It was like, man, you are really laying it on thick here, Punk. He's on his knees, thanking him over and over again. And he's basically acknowledging that, yes, it is Roman the reason why he's main eventing WrestleMania. It is because of Roman Reigns. And then at the end, he's like, well, that's not the favor. Okay, well, so Heyman owes him some other favor? What is that, and what could it possibly be that will make me care? Like, is it, well, Brock Lesnar's going to help me win the match or something? Like, what does he have? What could it really be? Heyman's going to be with me at the WrestleMania and he'll help me win and bleh. He's my wise man. Like, okay. What can they do?
I was thinking it'd be something that simple, just more of like, you'd be aligned with me and you're going to help me win the main event at WrestleMania. Like, I think that would be the favor, I would think.
Yeah. I guess that's what we're supposed to think.
Well, here's the thing too, like, because they're building up this whole favor thing, right? Because it ended the show.
Mm-hmm.
It has to happen at WrestleMania. So what else really could it be? Despite maybe the fact that it could be Punk gets a title shot because he wins the match or something, that could be added to. I don't know, but there's not much really you can have where it has to happen at WrestleMania. We have to know about the favor, pretty much, at the show.
The favor. How long have we been talking about this favor? It's been since what, November?
Well, yeah, right. I mean, if you think about it, the road to WrestleMania truly starts at Survivor Series. So
yeah,
they're going to say long-term storytelling.
Yeah, the favor. I guess the favor will be revealed at WrestleMania. We'll know what the favor was.
I'm having a hard time believing Roman's not going to win the match, but I mean, if it makes sense for the whole story with the favor and all that, like
the favor.
Okay.
Don't forget about they ended SmackDown with, by the way, the favor is still on, and the Roman's like, the favor. You know, like what the fuck, dude? He owes me a favor. What? He's going to drug Roman before the match.
I don't see some of that happening.
Well, no, but like, what the hell, man? It's just, I don't know. It's not good. It's just weird.
Well, we complained last week where we felt this match wasn't main event quality and wasn't even really WrestleMania quality, so they had to add something to it. So they had this intrigue to it, I guess.
It's gonna main event, and there's a favor. Cool. So that was the big promo for SmackDown tonight. CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins in the same ring. Paul Heyman there too, of course. And they will main event WrestleMania. They will close the show on night 1. Punk should have asked Heyman, like, night 2? Heyman should have been like, night 1. But still, end of the show. Last match. Pretty good. Pretty good. You couldn't give me night 2? Oh, Cody, Cena. You know how it is. The Rock, fucking Rock. Again. Roman, you can't say something to The Rock. Can't say shit to The Rock. They should have done that. That would have been fun. That promo in the ring tonight. Like if Punk was like, if Heyman goes, you get to close the show at WrestleMania. Punk goes, night 2? And Heyman goes, night 1. Pretty good. That would have been good. I would have enjoyed that, instead of Punk crying. Because if I was told that I was main eventing WrestleMania and I was closing the show, I would be like, night 2? Wouldn't that be the first question you ask? Because, night 1, it's like, yeah, cool. But everybody knows the night 2 main event is the real main event. It's the match that closes all of WrestleMania, Come on.
Well, it's funny, too, that he left. One of the big reasons because he wasn't main eventing, and it was Cena and Rock in the main event instead of him.
Yeah.
And it still is the case. But they just switched the dates, and that's okay then. So it's funny.
Yeah.
But
As long as he gets one night. They should have had 2 nights of WrestleMania back then. Punk would have never left.
if only.
What a ridiculous thing. All right, what else happened on SmackDown tonight? Cody Rhodes came out and talked about John Cena and WrestleMania and what he's going to do to him. And then Randy Orton came out and talked about Cody and, you know, had a whole heartfelt moment with Cody, about Cody's whole career, kind of went over everything, talked about young Cody and Cody leaving when he wasn't treated properly and how he left and he changed the business, and he said all the boys appreciate it, including himself, which I thought was a cool thing to see Randy say on SmackDown, that Cody left to change the business and everybody appreciates it. Like creating AEW was good for wrestling, and it is appreciated. That was an interesting line on SmackDown, no?
Well, that's the way you take it, right? But I'm sure the way WWE will spin it is different, obviously, right? Like he left to go to Japan, to the Indies and all that, right? They won't say AEW. It doesn't exist.
Well, but he left, created AEW, which added competition to the WWE as far as big contracts, and everybody started getting paid way more.
Yeah, they don't add that part, obviously. But.
But that's what happened. That's what Randy said. I mean, he didn't say it explicitly, but that's what he meant, which I thought was cool. And Randy says he's proud of Cody, he loves Cody and all this, but after Mania, he's coming for the belt, brother. So, seemed like we're setting up feuds for after WrestleMania tonight. Are we already past Mania? God, Randy's like looking for Cody. We saw Jade Cargill have a like kind of face-to-face with Charlotte Flair, setting up something maybe down the road. Like, it was odd. Other things started happening on SmackDown tonight. Drew McIntyre came out and started cutting promos on Randy and Cody, and that set up a match later in the night. Drew versus Randy, which was kind of a surprise to get, right? Two big-time wrestlers.
Well, I'm glad we got something off that because we're having this promo to start the show, and usually when you get a promo to start the show, you get a match off that. So I'm glad we got something off of that. It kind of made sense, and you kind of needed that too, I feel. Like if they're going all the way there, give them some main event talent, and I feel that Drew and Randy, that's definitely main event talent. So maybe you didn't love the match. I'm sure it wasn't the most exciting match in the world. I wasn't expecting a lot from that match, but I'm sure the people there loved it.
Yeah, they loved Drew McIntyre, that's for sure. Loved him.
And Randy. I mean,
yeah, Randy
they went
too.
crazy for a song.
Kevin Owens came out during the match. Randy stared at him for a while, turned around, got hit with the Claymore. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre gets the win. And then Kevin attacked Randy after the match. Randy fought back, though, set Kevin up for the punt kick, but Kevin escaped. A lot of punt kick action. I think Randy will finally punt Kevin at WrestleMania and beat him. Because they've been teasing this punt kick so much. It's like, okay, he's going to hit it at some point, and then Kevin will take time off after Mania, selling the kick.
Well, it's to even it up. It's to end the story, right? Like, I was wondering about the win-loss, but now I feel after he cost Randy the match here, Randy's definitely going to get the win at WrestleMania. But, like you said, to end the story, I feel, he's got to take him out because he took Randy out. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And then just as Randy's about to beat Cody for the WWE Championship, here comes Kevin Owens to stop him and lays out everybody. And then he starts going for the title, and we do a Cody, Randy, Kevin Owens thing. Full circle.
Yeah, it could have. Well, you got to remember, too, that is it Backlash? Or there's an upcoming PLE. It's going to be in St. Louis. So that's when I think they're probably going to do Cody and Randy of some capacity, maybe like you say a three-way. And if it's Backlash,
May 10th, yeah.
So there you go. May 10th is a big day. So yeah, I maybe that's it. They're already planning that ahead because if you think about it, April 1920, boom, you're into Backlash in like what 2-3 weeks?
Yeah. That's crazy. Won't take long. Yeah, Cody, Randy, maybe that's why they're starting to set it up now. That makes sense, actually. They have to start setting up Backlash matches now because it's going to be so quick of a turnaround. And Cena won't be around at Backlash, so you need somebody else for Cody. Randy makes a lot of sense in St. Louis. Kevin takes like 3-4 weeks off, shows up at Backlash.
The thing that really I don't know about you, but it just makes a lot of sense to me. This is going to be a WrestleMania rematch, pretty much. Backlash, I would think, for the most part. Like, maybe they'll have 1 or 2 matches that they didn't have for WrestleMania that they'll have there, but for the most part, it's just going to be WrestleMania rematch because there's not enough time to build stuff, I don't think.
It's what it always is, right? Backlash is always WrestleMania rematches.
They called it WrestleMania Backlash one year because
Yes.
it was that.
Yeah. Johnny North, unfortunately, the Street Profits defeated Pretty Deadly tonight. Clean finish, retain the tag titles, and the opener for SmackDown. Could have been the big one for Pretty Deadly in London, their home country, but they didn't do it.
Well, what did you feel about Pretty Deadly's performance, though?
Yes, boy!
I thought they were pretty good.
I feel there were some hiccups there. Like, I don't know if you caught it right before they came back from the break. There was a little bit of like a spinning like back elbow thing that looked like it went awry or barely caught Ford. And then there was something off the ropes where Ford just came at him. Like it was some sort of weird kick thing, tackle, whatever it was. Like that was awkward. And when he went for, was it the splash? Like the Pretty Deadly Blonde was like way on the wrong side. So he had to pretty much scoot all the way over. That looked kind of rough to see that. So like, again, this is a work in progress with Pretty Deadly. I feel like they're getting better, but they're not quite there yet. Like I feel as an act, they're good. In the ring, it's going to take some time, I think.
Yes, boy!
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But they're fun, yeah? They're a fun tag
There's
team.
potential. There's a lot of potential there. And like, it's still not impossible for WrestleMania. But I'm feeling now for WrestleMania, they might just do like DIY Motor City Machine Guns against like Street Profits. So it feels like they haven't gotten their shots, and it feels like they're more involved than Pretty Deadly was. Pretty Deadly got their shot.
Yeah.
I don't know if they get involved now.
Ugh, but it's so boring with those guys. Nobody
I'm not saying
has
it's
any
great.
personality there.
Well, Street Profits a bit, but
No, they
get
don't. They're so boring and generic, those guys. They're just nothing. They have nothing. They are bland as fuck. Are you kidding me? Ugh. They're so boring.
I feel
they have
they
no
had a better
charisma.
song. They had a better song, and that kind
Oh
of
yeah, their new song is even worse. Makes them even less entertaining. I like
That
them
hurts
when they
them a
had
lot.
cups falling on them or whatever. They're a little
that's
more
it,
fun
too.
back then.
they're
But
not as fun anymore.
oh, they're really not fun. Even when they were like a rip-off New Day, they weren't that good. And now they're even worse. Now they're a rip-off of current New Day, which sucks even worse. Have you noticed that? They've just always been like a shitty version of the New Day. That's what they were when they were baby faces, and now that they're, I guess, heels? Are they heels? Whatever the hell they are now, they're kind of like a shitty version of what Woods and Kofi are doing.
Kind of like in between, I feel like right now what they're
They
at. But
suck. They are awful. Every time I see them, it's like a tune-out. Street Profits. Motor City Machine Guns. The Miz. You know? Terrible. You wrestled Big Jim tonight. Big Jim beat him. I skipped through most of the match because I just can't watch Miz wrestle. I just don't see the point. I've watched too many Miz matches to watch any more Miz matches. So I'm not watching.
well, I wouldn't watch for your sake because I'd be mad the way he uses like Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan's moves, and like they don't end matches. Like he uses Bryan Danielson's finisher, and it's just a kick out easy. So that kind of it's rough. It's rough when he does it. I'm sure you'd be mad if you saw that. So.
I can't watch The Miz. He's terrible. He's just the worst. I don't watch him. He's the worst wrestler in the WWE. He may be the worst wrestler in WWE history. Because he's
I don't know if
wrestled.
he's that bad.
No, I think he is. Because he's wrestled for so long in the WWE. And every match he has is bad. Every match is bad. Nothing's ever good. Or nothing's ever really good. You know? Everything is like pretty bad to like, I guess, mediocre, passable. You know? He's awful. He's been terrible forever. He's never been good. He can't talk. He's not a good promo. He's just irritating. And that's not a character. That's just Mike Mizanin. He's awful. He's always been awful. And the fact that he's still this bad, like at this point, a guy like The Miz, I should be like, he's been around for so long. He's kind of whatever, old Miz. No, he's just always been garbage. And he's still garbage. And the fact that he's had this long of a career in WWE is offensive. He's not a real wrestler. He sucks.
Well, he's not going to get any better. So
He's
just
not
have to
serious. I've never
He's
taken
where
him
he's at.
seriously.
He's where he's at, and I think that's just where he's going to be. I mean, he has a spot. I mean, longevity helps a lot. In
I
wrestling
wish
now,
he
so.
didn't. At least not on TV. I don't know. Give him a job where he's getting paid more to stay at home or do whatever. I don't want him unemployed. I don't want his kids to go hungry or whatever. I just don't want to watch him on television. So when his matches come up or when he starts talking, I choose to skip over because I've seen enough of The Miz. I'm going to watch everybody else. I'll watch the Street Profits. I don't want to, but I will. I mean, I want to see them when they wrestle Pretty Deadly because I want to see Pretty Deadly, but not The Miz. Not The Miz. Like, The Miz is like maybe this much better wrestler than the Pretty Deadly Boys, and those guys are so new. And I wouldn't even say that he's better. He's so bad. He makes Braun Strowman look like Kurt Angle. He's the drizzling shits. Ugh.
I can't say that was a great match. LA Knight versus Braun Strowman.
It wasn't supposed to. Jacob Fatu showed up, beat them both up. They're doing something for the U.S. title there. LA Knight's the champ. Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu. Maybe Solo Sikoa finds his way in there. Something like that for Mania.
Well, I'm thinking they're going to do the same thing on Raw, where Raw with the IC title, or as Penta calls it, the Continental title. But I think they're going to do a 4-way with that, and then a 4-way on SmackDown for the U.S. title.
I think that makes sense. Jacob, Solo, LA, Braun, U.S. title 4-way, Braun Breaker. Too many Brauns. Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, Dom Mysterio, and Pentagon. Just Penta. The gone is gone. Just Penta.
The gone's gone.
Yeah. That makes sense. Penta's brother, Cero Miedo, is still here, John. Forever. Cero Miedo. His brother, Rey Fenix, is going to be on SmackDown next week, making his SmackDown debut, like 2 weeks before Mania. Interesting time.
Oh, he's a great wrestler. It's good to have him on the show, I think. Be interesting to see him.
Kind of a weird time, though, to debut.
Yeah, but I mean, why not? I mean, it adds some interest to SmackDown, which kind of needs it right now, because I don't know about you, 3 hours just felt like so long. Like, I really wished it was over after the Randy Orton match, to be honest. I'm like, oh no, another hour? This is long.
Yep. Took forever. Not a great show. We had Piper Niven and Albert Fire wrestling Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Piper got the win there. Piper and Chelsea attacking the Chance and Carter afterwards. Zelina Vega tried to make the save but failed and got beat up. I really enjoyed Chelsea and Piper and Albert Fire. I like the whole gimmick they're doing. I like that Chelsea is playing like an American president with the United States Championship. And she's got her 2 Secret Service people with her, Piper and Albert, and Chelsea's Canadian, and Piper and Alba are Scottish. I think that's all very funny with the U.S. title, women's U.S. title. I think Chelsea's great. I'm glad that she got somebody else with her now. She's got 2 goons instead of 1. I think that's good. You need more backup, more hench people. They're not henchmen. They're henchwomen. Hench people. What do you call a lady henchman?
What?
Henchwoman? Can you be a henchwoman? Hench person?
I suppose it could be a hench person, yeah. Woman, yeah.
Could be a hench they. They hench. We hench. We all hench. It's a hench. I'm opening a hench business, all right? I've got hench women, hench men, hench, other genders, whatever you want, but it's hench. We service all your henching needs. What do you think? Hench Industries.
There's potential there with the henches. Like, it's better than the her service. That's what they call themselves, right?
What's that?
That's their tag name. I don't know if you caught that or not.
Who?
But Fire and Piper.
Oh,
the her service.
The her service. I don't even get it.
It's like, I guess, the Secret Service, right? So it's her service.
Oh. Her, like Chelsea.
I would imagine that's what it is, right? Like,
I have no idea. I don't get it. The her service. That's their tag team name.
That they not only was it on the graphic. Like, the new ring announcer said that too. Nash something, whatever. It's not even his actual name. It's his WWE name, but
who?
That's what he said. Mark Nash. That's the new ring announcer. I don't know if you caught it. It's not Lillian Garcia anymore right now on SmackDown.
I didn't even notice. Man, SmackDown was terrible. Naomi attacked Michin before her match. Naomi cut a backstage promo about Jade Cargill, and then she attacked Michin for some reason because Michin is friends with Jade Cargill.
Because they did a segment backstage where Jade said she wanted another piece at Naomi, but she wasn't there. They didn't know where she was.
Right.
And then when she left that area, she saw, I think, Michin and BFAB, and they said they were cool with Jade and all that. So,
Oh, the secret Hervis I'm seeing in the chat. Ryan is saying, is that what
That's
they're
Hervis,
calling?
Okay.
That's
I guess
not
so.
bad. It's not bad. Secret Hervis. I mean, yeah, okay. So Naomi hates Jade Cargill. She attacked B-Fab and Michin, and then Jade Cargill came out and Naomi ran away. And then Charlotte Flair beat a beaten-up Michin with the figure-8 submission. Yeah.
Wasn't that exciting whatsoever, but it happened, and it took a long period of time for that to happen, so helped eat up a lot of time, I guess.
Yes. And that was SmackDown, pretty much, John. That's what happened on SmackDown.
It was very, very long, sadly.
Yeah.
And Ryan said it best, too. Like, Raw, actually, it was like 2 hours and a half or something. It felt not so bad. Kind of flew by compared to SmackDown.
Yeah.
That extra hour, it's way too much.
Yeah. Not great. It's a long show. Raw, a little bit better, but still, even Raw this week.
Well, I think the problem with Raw is you start off with a 30-minute promo all the time, so you don't start off great. You end better. But yeah, the start's rough. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, because they'll be back in London for Raw, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. The European tour is done.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct in that? So we're back.
Yeah,
to
we're
normal...
back on at 10 next week.
Yeah, that's good for people. No,
not for me. Too late. Yeah, John Cena and Cody did that thing on Raw. It was not great. The baby reindeer guy was ringside at Raw. You see that?
I noticed there was that, and there was a guy. We didn't mention this for SmackDown. The Drew McIntyre incident that happened. That was a big thing that happened on SmackDown this.
There was an incident.
Like he finished the match right with.
He
Randy
got attacked
Orton.
by Damian Priest.
That's it, and he got put through like a windshield.
Yeah.
Real glass, he said. I don't know if you caught it. Like you could see when it happened. I saw he got glass in his eyes.
Did he say real glass?
He tweeted that out afterwards.
Oh, I saw Punk walk by him and like kind of smile at him.
Well, no, that's fine. That's good.
They won't let it go. I feel like
Well,
AEW has moved past it, but Punk is still going at it.
I mean, it defined a lot of wrestling now, if you think about it. So I kind of don't mind it. I mean, it's part of their history. I don't mind if Jungle Boy or Punk mentions it because it's what they are now because of that.
Whatever happened to Jungle Boy?
Well, I think it's taking a break, much like the Bucks, right?
Why?
Because they had their runs as champion.
Okay.
The runs were over. Take a break.
What do you think about El Grande Americano? This like Chad Gable thing where he's pretending to be a luchador. People are offended by this. I mean, I don't know. If they're offended by this, were they offended by El Generico? Probably not.
See, the idea of mocking someone for their heritage and all that, I mean, it's happened before in wrestling. It's not the biggest of deals. The problem more is the whole Gulf of America thing. That's kind of the big deal.
That was in the promo video. It showed the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America.
And they put that over in the video, too. They said, like, he's from the Gulf of America.
Right,
Like,
but that's kind of like what Chad Gable is doing. It's like his gimmick, no? Like it's the Gable backstory, no?
I mean, there's a difference between, I think, making fun of people and then there's political tension that's involved right now.
Yeah.
With Mexico and the United States. When you get that involved into the story, it takes it to a bit more of a harsher level, I find, and people get more offended in a different way. So
yeah,
I don't think it was a good idea to do that. Like, I get it to do the whole like, oh, I'm going to wear a mask. It's not me. I think it's not the first time that's been happening for wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But to take something like that, especially because they said, you know, we stay away from politics, WWE, and to kind of throw it in your face like that, I can see why people get mad because it's a very sensitive issue that right now.
Yeah, I thought the gimmick was whatever. You've kind of seen something like that before. It's nothing new.
Right.
But yeah, I guess throwing that part in there, the Gulf of America bit in the kind of the history of the character promo video they ran was a little, distasteful. I didn't love it. But I wasn't offended. I just was like, yeah, WWE going to do WWE things. I wasn't surprised. And it kind of made sense for the character. Like, this character is so, offensive to Mexican culture and luchador culture that he even claims that it's the Gulf of America, not the Gulf of Mexico, because America, and he's El Grande Americano. He's an American that does lucha better than the luchadors, and he even had a match on Raw, and he beat Dragon Lee, and it's like, I don't know, I just see it as all part of the gimmick, and he's the bad guy that's going to get beat up at WrestleMania by, Rey Mysterio or something.
For the gimmick, I don't think it's a big deal. But I think when it comes to the Gulf of America, I think a lot of people take that more disrespectfully, and they feel like it's taking it way too far.
I get it. I get it. Well, I just feel like, man, of the things that, of the offensive things that have been said in wrestling over the years, this is nothing. I mean, Muhammad Hassan.
Oh, yeah. Well, that did also last after a while, but...
Sure, but his whole gimmick was nuts from front to back. The whole time, it was like, whoa, dude. And there was some tensions back then. This
Very
was
much so.
Pretty minor considering where we're at. They could lean into some stuff, I've seen way worse. It was just like, oh, they threw that in there. It's kind of it's almost funny. It's like, I get it. Gable's the dickhead who's, Gulf of America. It's like, okay, they're making it the bad guy. I don't know. It's not bad. I don't hate it. For those that are offended by it, it's like, well, wait till the end of the story and you'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll see where this story is going, too, because I feel this... I'm not sure where they're going with this. What do they really need this to go anywhere? To be honest,
no, it's super dumb.
I don't think it's really for what they're trying to get off of it. I don't think it's worth the headaches that they're going to go through. I think, and that's another problem too. If you're going to go with this, go all the way with this, I think they're really going to cut back on that whole let's use a lot more Trump involved in this or Trump ideas. They probably should go with it if they've already started that, but I think because I got such a backlash already, they're probably going to steer clear of that. Much like how we had the anthem song, and now they're not going to have any more anthem song, I think, for a while.
Yeah, stay away from that. It's not necessary. I don't need all that with my pro wrestling, We should avoid all that stuff and just have fun, but then again, pro wrestling always has an element to that,
Well, I don't mind if they go with it, but again, don't go halfway with it. They did this part, okay, you decided to do this, but now they're kind of going to stop, and that's going to be about it. We're not going to see any more vignettes, I don't imagine.
Yeah, this gimmick is it's just kind of played out. I've seen it before. It's not special.
And how far can you really go with it, too? It's kind of very obvious what's happening, so it's nothing special, to be honest. It's cool, it gives us cool matches that we're going to get. Mm-hmm. Dragon Lee versus Gable is a good match, but it's not exactly the most compelling story in the world.
I thought the coolest thing on Raw was Jey Uso had a tag team match against A-Town Down Under with a mystery partner, and the mystery partner turned out to be his brother, Big Jim. And then they won, and it was the Usos back together for one night, which was kind of cool. And then Big Jim slapped the hell out of Gunther backstage, which was also cool. So I thought the Usos were the stars of SmackDown, or Raw this week.
Well, to me, I don't know how you felt about this. Like, I'm not a big fan of the whole Jey Uso's like slipping or like screwing up.
Yeah.
Now there's all doubt.
Yeah, I mean, he legit botched last week, and Jimmy Uso's acting like that was part of the story in his promo. He's like, what happened last week? You know, you got to be focused or you're not going to beat Gunther. It's like, well, he botched. And Jay's like, I know. I suck.
Well, this week they did the whole like he slipped on purpose, pretty much. Like you saw when he tried to go for the spear and he kind of slips a little bit. Like that was, I think, intentional.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're playing up now is that, oh, like he's like caving under pressure or something, or can't do it in the right moment kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that's never a good storyline where it's like you're not good enough or like you're bad at something. That usually never works out very well.
At this point, I'm not sure if he wins the title at Mania. The build for him hasn't been very strong, and Gunther looks stronger every week.
It's rough, but I think they're probably still going to give it to him because, like, if you don't give it to him, it really kind of sinks him in a sense. You build them all this way up just for him to lose. It kind of feels like a waste.
Or just a change of course because they realize Jey Uso as world champion doesn't really have a long shelf life.
Well, I don't think Uso had a real long shelf life, even as champion. Like you said, maybe SummerSlam at most. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem. It doesn't seem necessary to take the belt off Gunther now. Gunther just seems like a great champion that can hold the belt for a while. But yeah, Jay did win the Rumble. Probably should give him the belt. But the build for him hasn't been great. Big Jim, though, build for the match against Gunther Monday has been pretty cool because he slapped Gunther hard. I assume Gunther's going to chop Big Jim real hard on Raw. And it could be a fun match.
I expect it to be. I liked how they've kind of been hyping up Jim a little bit. They gave him a bit on Smackdown today. Like, he had the match, and then he went on commentary for a little bit. Like, It felt like they're kind of making him into something. So, just to lose, I think that's kind of cool for him in a sense.
Yep. Nice little run for Big Jim. I don't know what he does at WrestleMania. Still no real clear direction.
Well, it's another Andre the Giant, I think. I had him in the U.S. thing, but it feels like Solo took that spot.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Natural Disasters officially going into the WWE Hall of Fame, which is cool. I love those guys. They were great. I think we talked about that. They also announced, or did they announce it officially? Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin from WrestleMania 13 is going to go into the WWE Hall of Fame as the first ever match inducted into the Hall of Fame. So they're going to induct matches in the Hall of Fame now. Like the UFC does in their Hall of Fame. They induct fighters and fights. So WWE doing that now.
Well, you're going to love this. It's matches / moments that they're going to induct. So I'm telling you this is going to happen. Probably not next year because they're probably going to give it to Taker and Shawn, right? Oh, promos for sure. Like, this is your life?
Yeah.
100%. That's going in. But I'm thinking, Mae Young, the hand thing, that's probably going in. I know you don't like it, but it's probably going to happen.
Could we induct Booker T next year for Hulk Hogan? We coming for you?
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to make
Classic moment. Could we induct Dusty Rhodes for saying he's got a bicycle?
I think Dusty will make it for a lot of moments. It won't be for that moment.
Terry Funk saying forever. Calling Dusty an egg-sucking dog. How about just the egg-sucking dog from Terry Funk? Could we put that in? Dusty Rhodes, you're an egg-sucking dog.
I like forever. I don't know about the egg-sucking, but the forever one for
dog,
sure.
Brother. That's a good insult. Your mother's a whore. You're an egg-sucking dog. Those are good classic insults. Oh, Terry Funk. They don't make him like him anymore, brother. So Brett and Stone Cold are going to be at the Hall of Fame, which is cool. Cool to see Bret
What?
Hart.
I give WWE a lot of credit because to me that might be the greatest match of all time. So for that to be the first one to be put in the Hall of Fame, I think that's the right choice.
It might be
you
the
start to
greatest
think
match
about
of all time.
well in
It might be.
WWE history. In WWE history,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it has a strong case.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. You said it might be the greatest match of all time. I was like, damn, son, really? And then I was like, yeah. You know, there's been some great matches in WWE, but I don't know if I would put any of them above that one. I think there are some that are in the ballpark for sure, but better? I think that was as perfect a match as you'll ever get. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we see even better matches in the future, right? That's why we're watching. But Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin WrestleMania 13 is hard to beat. Probably the best match ever. I think you're right.
I mean, what it accomplished. You just look at
Mhm.
that alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite amazing. And then you see the quality of the match as well. And then the fact that one guy was the babyface, one guy was the heel, and they switched it. It's just amazing what that match accomplished in so many different levels. It's quite incredible. That's why I know a lot of people will say Taker and Shawn is the best. And I'm saying it's not a bad match. It's good, but that's all it is. Where this match, it changed the business, this match.
Yeah. It launched Steve Austin, the Stone Cold character. They did the double turn with Bret coming in as a babyface, leaving heel. Austin coming in as a heel, leaving babyface. The iconic Austin bleeding, passing out to the sharpshooter at the end. That picture was everywhere.
It was a t-shirt.
Yeah. It's a hell of a match. If you're going to induct a match into the Hall of Fame, that's a good start. For sure.
Well, and let's be honest about this. I think they're trying to be nice to Steve. They want to be involved in WrestleMania, put him in the Hall of Fame, give him a reason to show up. And by the way, can you come Sunday and get involved?
Yeah. Can you help Cody? Give you a payday for that. Speaking of paydays, will Paige be coming back to the WWE? She's done with AEW. Saraya.
Well, the thing is, and it's early too, because originally I believe it was her contract was supposed to expire in September, but Tony Khan actually has let her go early, which I guess now he's letting people go early now. So, I mean, I think that definitely means that she's going to go to WWE. I think she wanted to get it opened up, and he allowed it.
Makes sense. She's doing nothing in AEW.
I think they got everything they could really out of her. If you think about it, I know some people were saying her and Mercedes, but it never really fit for that to happen because, Mercedes clearly a heel, and Saraya was definitely a heel too. So maybe a triple threat, maybe, but that was about it.
All the years you thought she was retired, she comes back in AEW. Her run was not good. Not as good as we expected it to be.
Oh, definitely not. But she got a good moment at All In. I didn't expect she'd win the title, but you did. So that happened. That was pretty much the highlight of her whole thing. She did. And she had a group. So that was something. It was a decent group, too. Toni Storm was in the group.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of helped launch Toni Storm in a sense. So
yeah,
there was that. But what you'd expect from her, you think the level that she could be at, it didn't quite get to that level, sadly, but it wasn't like she did nothing really in AEW. There's definitely people who've done less than her, but you expected more.
I feel like some people that are used to the machine making them bigger than they are like the WWE machine. They come to AEW and they can't really do it themselves. They can't really figure it out. And they flounder in the system where they're just kind of left to their own devices, where they're supposed to just kind of figure a lot of it out on their own. I feel like Mercedes is having that problem because whatever she's doing is not really working.
I mean, she's having good matches, though. So I don't feel like that's really a problem.
Well, she can do that.
Yeah.
But she's having a hard time making people care.
I think what kind of hurts her right now is the fact that Toni Storm is so good right now. Like, it's really hard to be better than her. So she seems lesser because Toni is just superior.
And the heel character, too. It's like, what is going on here? Because the fans want to cheer for her. And she does this kind of weird, annoying heel character, and it's not really working. Not like Ricochet. Ricochet figured it out, you know?
Yep.
Some of them from WWE come over, and they get bigger, and they're even better. They figure something out, and all of a sudden, boom, they're amazing. And then some of them, you know, they're big stars in WWE, and then they come over to AEW, and you're like, oh, this is going to be great. And then a couple months into it, you're like, what happened? Sasha Banks, Edge. It's not really hitting like it used to. But then you got Ricochet and Toni Storm and Swerve Strickland. It's like, wow, they're better now than they've ever been. Way better than when they were in WWE.
I don't think it's been bad, though, with Edge, though. I feel Edge has had some very good matches.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't expect him to be better than he's ever been at this stage in his career. He's not the same as Swerve. Swerve is in his prime. Swerve is great.
I mean, it's just the environment. Some of them thrive in it. Some of them need direction. And that's it. If you don't have it, it gets tougher for them, I guess, and it shows.
I like the Moxley Swerve promo in the ring this week on Dynamite. I thought Swerve said some good stuff, talking about Moxley coming out and just playing John Moxley, pretending to be this champion that he's not. I thought he's had some good lines for Moxley. I thought Moxley fired back with some good stuff. I liked when he said, maybe I can play this here. What did he say?
Suffer. On April 6th, my sport has been taken over by billionaires and Hollywood talent agencies and kids who see the world through an Instagram filter and don't know their head from their ass. It's guys like you that give me hope for the future. It's guys like...
So I like that a lot. It's coming. My business is being taken over by billionaires and talent agencies and kids with Instagram filters who don't know their head from their ass. And then he points to Swerve and he says, it's guys like you that give me hope. And I'm like, yeah, right on, John Moxley. Exactly. He was talking about the WWE. He was making a really good point. And I think it went over a lot of people's heads. But I heard that and I was like, oh, shit. Get him, Mox. That was good.
Well, I immediately think of Punk. I don't know if you saw Punk did like an Instagram filter. I think the day before that happened.
Oh.
So I thought that was directly a shot at Punk.
Good.
So
get him. He won't stop. Punk on Monday was like, I work with children. I mean, he's milking it still. So Moxley should get him. Get him back on Wednesday. Hit him with one. He's not wrong. And Punk's working for that company. Main eventing night one of a buy two, get one free. You know what I mean? That's what he's doing.
It is a fortnight if you count SmackDown and Raw. So
yeah, four-night extravaganza. It's like, come on, man. He's doing exactly what MJF said, or what Punk told MJF that he would be doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly,
go over
yeah.
to WWE. You think the grass is greener. You'll be main eventing night 1 of a buy one, get one free night 4 night. It's like, that's what you're doing. And you're crying about it on their TV show, dude. I saw this guy like 2 years ago make fun of exactly this situation that he's now so happy to get. It's crazy. I just can't reconcile the two CM Punks. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't seem genuine. Either he was lying back then or he's lying now. And either way, it doesn't sit right.
So are you going to watch when Punk's on Stephanie's Places? 'Cause I imagine there's going to be a lot said on that. Like, you wouldn't think
bullshit ass kissing.
I saw from the preview him hugging Triple H. I don't know if you saw that stuff already.
God. Bleh. What a corporate sellout bitch CM Punk is. What a fucking disgrace. What a shell of his former self. Disgusting. Ooh, Stephanie. I'm on Stephanie's Places. That awkward fucking Stephanie McMahon. So fucking awkward. Holy shit, what a dumb idea that is. Come journey with me, Stephanie McMahon, as we go to places with wrestlers that have to come with me. Because my dad and my husband. You have to do Stephanie's Places. It's a favor for me. I owe you a favor. Hey, Punk, I know you like favors. Mine will be sexual in nature. That's right. That's the kind of favors Triple H gives, okay? Sexual favors. To whoever. He makes that sound, too, when he does it. Obviously. The King of Kings! Yep.
Well,
Well,
going back to AEW, like, I know you liked Swerve and Moxley.
yeah.
I actually thought Toni Storm, Thunder Rosa, their segment, and then the match, I thought that was the best part of the show. I truly enjoyed that promo. I don't know what you thought about the promo, but I thought that was some gold right there. I loved how they made Renee crack in that promo. It was truly a joy to watch that.
I mean, I feel like we say it every week. Toni Storm is the best. It's
incredible. Good that she's main eventing. Like, it makes sense that she's the main event now because it's like, yeah, she's the best thing on the show.
Yeah. She announced that her and Thunder Rosa are no longer Thunder Storm. That is no longer their tag team name. They're now Thunder Tits. Which, I mean, Thunder Storm, because Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm, pretty good tag team name. Thunder Storm. But Thunder Tits, gotta say, it's better. Don't know why. Just, it sounds great. Thunder Tits.
They were chanting it during the match.
I mean, are we allowed to say these things? Thunder Tits? This is crazy. Shocking. Are we allowed to chant these things at women? Thunder Tits? Women come out and we start chanting Thunder Tits at them? Is this appropriate behavior? I don't know. It's their tag team name. They seem to want it, but that sounds bad. So I don't know. They asked for it. Whoa. Wait a second here, buddy. You know? Take it easy. But should we be chanting Thunder Tits at these ladies? When they come out, Toni Storm, Thunder Rosa come out, we go, Thunder Tits! Yeah, Thunder Tits! That seems rude, doesn't it? But it's their tag team name.
That's what they call themselves. That's what they want to be called, right? So
Yeah. Just like Tests fans wanted to be called the Testicles. We all remember.
I mean, that was the most over he ever got, I think, was that.
He had Stacy Keibler with him too, didn't he?
Yes. I think they were Were they an item at the time or something like that? Something like that was going on.
Test. This is a test. Rest in peace. Toni Storm is the greatest. Thunder Tits, fantastic. What a tag team. They main evented Dynamite, and they beat Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford.
No, they lost, actually.
Oh, yeah, sorry. They lost. Bayne got the win, which makes a lot of sense because you want to make Bayne look strong going into the match with Toni Storm at Dynasty. Yes. Megan Bayne with the victory. Bayne and Storm. Storm and Bayne. What is Megalopolis, or what is she calling her?
I didn't catch that name. I don't know if they had another name for it.
No. Toni Storm is calling her something funny.
I remember she called her Bane, something about Batman, right? About like she had her back broken before or something. I remember that. That was it.
She gets her back broken every night, I think she said. It's like, good
something
God,
like that. Yeah,
Toni
yeah.
Storm, what is happening? She says the craziest shit. I go, whoa. Oh, man, she's so funny. She's very entertaining. She will defend her title at AEW Dynasty next Sunday, April the 6th. Yes.
That's correct.
April the 6th in Philadelphia. John Moxley will defend the AEW World Championship against Swerve. MJF and MVP seem ready to make a deal. MJF seem ready to join the Hurt Business, the Hurt Syndicate, the Hurt Locker. What are they called?
Well, in AEW, they're the Hurt Syndicate.
Hurt Syndicate. And MVP wanted MJF in the group, but then Bobby Lashley came out and was like, no. What the hell was that?
Well, they had a promo afterwards, and Bobby kind of explained it, that MVP didn't talk to him about it, so it was kind of a surprise. So they weren't down with that idea.
MVP is like, I thought we wanted to add a fourth member. That was the whole plan. And Bobby's like, well, I don't know about this guy. So, is that it?
Well, I think MVP said, for now, but we might go back to this later. So that was their way of being like, okay, but it's not impossible this could happen at some other point, because they're not fully committed to this storyline yet. But they're not fully committed to saying no completely. So
does MJF just kind of leave it? And I don't get it. Was all that for nothing? And maybe we come back to it in a few months, and maybe we don't?
I think that's pretty much it. It's kind of open-ended. It could happen, but don't be looking for it.
This doesn't lead to MJF finding a different tag team partner and facing Shelton and Bobby for the tag belts at the pay-per-view? That's not what we're doing.
No, because it felt like they're building towards, because Jericho's goons, they had an issue, right? So they're going for the tag titles, I think.
Yeah. Big Cass and Brian Keith?
That's right.
Right. How exciting. Jericho will wrestle Bandito at AEW Dynasty. He will put the Ring of Honor World Championship on the line, and Bandito will put his mask on the line. So I think we know where that's going to go. You know?
I would think Bandito would win that, but
yeah,
stranger things have happened, actually. So
they're not unmasking Bandito. That seems nuts. Takeshita beat Mark Briscoe. God, Top Flight beat Alex Finley and Devo Knight. Just a couple jobbers losing to another couple jobbers. That was real pointless TV on AEW. They do these matches and you go, why? Will Hobbs versus Mark Davis? Why?
Well, the Top Flight one was because they're going to face Big Bill and Brian Keith on Collision, and the winner of that will go on to Dynasty to face the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah. I don't know. We started the show with Kenny Omega, and that was good. Kenny beat Blake Christian. It's good to see Kenny, and then Kenny did a promo, and Mike Bailey came out, and Ricochet did a promo from his wedding. He wasn't actually in the building. He was on video. I thought that was good. All that Kenny stuff was good, and then Dynamite just kind of struggled. You had MJF, that was good, then Toni Storm, and then you started wrestling matches. Brody King and Kyle Fletcher, Powerhouse Hobbs and Mark Davis, Top Flight against those jabroni guys, Mark Briscoe and Takeshita. It was like, oof. Finally, we got to the main event, Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. But, man, kind of a rough Dynamite to sit through this week. A lot of matches I did not care about. Like, they weren't terrible, but who cares?
I actually didn't mind the Kyle Fletcher Brody King match. That brain buster that Fletcher hit, wow. That was pretty incredible.
I can't take Brody King seriously. He's just, AEW hasn't given us a reason to care about this guy or to believe he's ever going to win anything. I feel like every time he's on TV, he's losing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, but still a very good match, though, I thought.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
I understand the lack
like, I
of
just don't
suspense.
care. Like, you're watching these TV shows and you're like, all right, well, whatever. They have like two wrestlers that are pretty good, wrestle a long match, and then you know who's going to win, and you don't care.
Usually. But I was still entertained, though, by what they pulled off, though.
Mm-hmm. They set up a trios tag team match. Rated FTR, Edge, and the FTR will take on Claudio, Pac, and Wheeler, the Death Riders, for the AEW Trios Championship at Dynasty. They did a little backstage promo with Edge and the FTR, and Dax apologized for being a dick, basically. And they seem to be on the same page, but probably not.
Kind of felt there was still a bit of tension, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess for the most part, they'll be fine. I mean, I think they had to add something because it's too, like, dry. If it's just, well, we're going to face them because we have beef with them. So I guess they had to add something to it, and this was their idea of it. Like, if there wasn't beef, I would say, oh, yeah, Rated FTR is going to win the trios titles. But because there's beef, now I start to doubt it. So it's not a bad idea that they're doing this.
I don't know. I don't really care about the inner workings of Rated FTR. The promo wasn't... I'm not into it. I do like Kenny versus Speedball versus Ricochet. That's going to be awesome. I did like Kenny's promo. I did like what he said to Speedball. I thought that was really good stuff. Showing him who's boss.
And congrats to Ricochet. I know you're not going to say it because you got beef with him, but congrats that he got married.
Well, they're Red Sox fans. It's baseball season, so I got beef, of course.
Well, it's okay. Don't worry. If I'm not mistaken, we're even so far, right? Like, we both won a game, so.
The Yankees won yesterday. Did the Red Sox win yesterday?
The Red Sox won yesterday, too, in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
Run shot.
Sorry to tell you, but the Yankees are off today. They'll be playing tomorrow. But the Red Sox are currently losing 4-1 in the 9th. So they're about to lose their first game.
You're not going to win every game. It happens. It's fine. You got to win the series. I think if you win the series, you're fine.
Yeah. The Blue Jays won their first game of the year today after getting smoked by the Orioles yesterday. They won 8-2 over Baltimore today.
It's all right. It's going to be competitive, I guess.
Dodgers down 1-0 to the Tigers in the second. Dodgers are playing right now. Yankees going to see the Brewers tomorrow and then Sunday, tomorrow afternoon, and then I think Sunday night. Tomorrow's a 1 o'clock start. Sunday, it's also a 1:30 start. Another afternoon game on Sunday. And then they got the D-backs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then they go to Pittsburgh on Thursday for a set with the Pirates. Yankees baseball is back, baby. I love it. I love it so much. And the Mets
know
are
what
winning
else?
right now.
Well, that's nice. I'm sure
They
you're
won.
mad
They
about
lost
that.
yesterday. Juan Soto was the last out, and he struck out for the Mets. So that was funny.
Yeah, but if they win, then they'll be okay. So,
Yeah.
But what also started again, Dark Side of the Ring is back. Season
Really?
6 now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like we had the season premiere. It was on Tuesday.
I had no idea.
Okay.
Ooh, Soto
well,
homered tonight, though. Damn. Who was that? A 3-run shot? I don't know. I think Soto hit like a 3-run homer.
Oh, good for Soto. Making that money now.
Oh no, it's a single solo homer. Yeah, solo homer
much?
for Soto.
How much they winning by?
It's 3-1 in the 8th. 3-1 Mets over the Astros.
Well,
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's tight, that series.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Dark Side of the Ring. Well, I'll watch that. I didn't even know. Who was the first episode on?
They pretty much talked about the Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley and The Undertaker.
Oh,
But in the end, oh, cool. We'll get a new follow here on Twitch. That's nice.
thank you.
I mean, in the end, it was truly like a Mick Foley Dark Side.
Oh.
Because it really focused on Mick Foley's family and the after effects of that Hell in a Cell for Mick Foley. Like, they have Taker, but it's like just taken from some other interview. It wasn't with them, so. But it was something to watch because, like, we've seen, I'm sure, so many different perspectives of Hell in a Cell. Like, a lot of it you've seen before, but it's always interesting to see his family's point of view. I mean, you've seen his wife, but his kids, the way they are now and the way they've taken it, a little bit different now. And even Mick, too, like, his perspective on it's kind of changed. So it's kind of neat looking at it now.
Yeah.
I'll wait for you to watch it, then we'll truly give it a nice review. But
Okay.
There'll be more episodes as we go along, I'm sure.
John, what happened to your hockey team?
I mean, they're going through a tough...
I hear they
spell
suck
right
now.
If I'm not mistaken, they're still in the last playoff spot.
Oh, yeah?
People can correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but if I'm not mistaken, we're still in that spot because
I hear they're losing a lot.
They're losing, but so is all the other teams chasing them. So if you keep on pace with everything, you're still fine. So there's 10 games. There's 10 games left. You just got to win more than the other teams. That's pretty much all you got to do. You have the spot. It's your spot to lose. So
that's wise.
We'll wait and see.
Just
10
lose
games left.
less than the other teams.
That's all. I'll be going to 3 more games, so I'll be enjoying this last little stretch. It's not over yet. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's doom and gloom kind of thing. And like, it would be nice to have a little bit of breathing room, but guess what? We don't get that. It's going to be exciting all the way to the end.
Okay. And when's your next match? When can people see you in the ring?
It's going to be in a couple hours. It's going to be tomorrow at John Abbott College. I'll be at I'll be in the Mad Dog heavyweight title tournament. So that'll be fun. Seeing that happen. Be selling 2 of these cool Johnny North dolls. That's going to happen. And April 11th, my big match tagging up with Gangrel against Soa Min and Mr. Marvelous. That's going to happen in Sudbury, April 11th. So a lot of big things coming up.
Damn. Johnny is busy, and I am too, but I'm not promoting it. I'll be back Thursday night, 8 p.m. for Ringside Report MMA, and that's it. That's the whole thing. I'll see you again soon. Shout out to the members over at join.ringsidereport.net. Antoinette, Franco316, I see you in the chat. Everybody over at donate.ringsidereport.net, membership.ringsidereport.net. The new guy who followed us on Twitch says Montreal sucks. Peace. He didn't spell Montreal right, and I don't disagree with you. I don't know if that's supposed to be an insult, but I mean, I don't I live here, and fair enough. It's
Probably
not
a
great.
Leaf fan. He's got a rough life, anyways.
He's a what now?
Probably a Toronto fan. It's been a rough life for him, anyway.
Oh, you think it's like a hockey thing because of your flag?
Probably.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't. Yeah. You could tell me the Canadians suck all day.
Game over. Yankees win.
Oh, they didn't?
They did yesterday.
Yankees
They didn't win today.
Whatever. I'm just saying, you could tell me they suck all day, and it really doesn't affect me. I mean, I'm sure it insults Johnny. So that guy insulted you. He misspelled Montreal, though, so it doesn't count. Okay, I'll be back later at some point in the future here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good night.